And welcome to the Once Upon a Time panel. Do we have any D23 members in the house? And do we have any D23 members in the house who were here back in 2011 when a show that had never debuted on ABC gave its first sneak peek here, Once Upon a Time. So, we've come a long way. Once Upon a Time. And D23. So we are so excited to have you all here. We are so thrilled. And we want to thank ABC so much for having the cast and creators of Once Upon a Time here. So I want to start with that. Now we're going to kick off. Oh, God, the echo in here. It's a really big room. We're going to start this with a little sneak peek. Coming out this, I think, next week on D, not that kind of a sneak peek. We're getting to those a little later. But you just hold on though, you'll get that. A sneak peek, the DVD comes out, I think, next week. There's an extra on it that is called Behind the Magic. And it is a very special tour that Josh Dallas and Jennifer Goodwin give of the Once Upon a Time set up in Vancouver. So, without further ado, Behind the Magic. And just for you guys to know, that actually was all conceived and written by Josh and Ginny, so they're kind of awesome. I did realize I forgot to introduce myself, not that any of you are here to see me, but I am Jeffrey Epstein from D23, the official fan club, so thank you all the members who are here today. But let's bring out a couple other people who you are here to see. So we're going to bring out first, a little talk show style, the two creators of the show. They are geniuses, they are hilarious, and they're very, very smart, and they're also very kind. I would like to introduce Eddie Kitsis and Adam Horowitz. It's a very big room full of people who are very excited about the incredible show you guys created. All right, we're going to just dive right into questions because people, I think we all want to know what's going to be happening, right? Right. All right. First weird, obscure question. You hinted something may happen on the show to make Henry regret snapping that quill. Does that mean that there's only one quill? What's going to happen with the quill?
Well, I think there will be events in the premiere that will make him wish he could just rewrite things.
There's a lot of power in that quill, and maybe he was a little hasty, but we'll see pretty quickly.
All right. Now, one of the things that I think this audience in particular loves are all the nods you've given to Disney films in the show. The Sorcerer's Hat, the Broomstick, all of those things. Sure. Anything that we can look forward to this season? Little hidden Easter eggs that Disney fans are really...
No, there's a bunch coming up, but...
Yeah, we're gonna see some iconography from Belle. We are going to see some Merida.
Well, look at what we got here.
Oh, yes. Wait, what else? We're gonna go to Camelot? There should be, usually we stick every year, we have a lot of Disney things, so I think this year will be no different.
We like to make it kind of fun and surprises, so, we definitely have stuff in the store coming throughout the season.
So, last we saw Zelina, pregnant and in jail. I'm assuming she may not stay there for that long. Thoughts?
Well, it's hard to keep a good Wicked Witch town.
Yeah. I would say that she is kind of like the Hannibal Lecter of the show, and she lives up to her wicked name, I would say, this season.
Wow.
Yeah, her and her sister get into it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So, let's talk a little bit about the Dark Swan.
Okay.
Now, a little origin here, because I feel like Rumpelstiltskin, when he became the Dark One, he was a very different kind of person. He was weak, he got bullied a lot, he didn't stand up for Bay.
Yeah.
But Emma is the savior, like Emma's awesome. So, is being the Dark One going to manifest itself differently for her?
Oh yeah, I mean, being the Dark One, it's sort of a magnifying glass on who you are, but then kind of twisting it a little bit. So how Emma manifests as the Dark One's going to be very different from Rumble.
Yeah, I think that having the dagger and the power that comes with it tricks you into believing there's a freedom to lose your fears. And I think we're going to see, we know Emma's a character, we know what her fears were and are, and so I think she has her own take on being the Dark One.
We've got this great shot up here, which just came out recently. I'm curious, we see Rumble still skin, but sort of retro Rumble there.
Yeah.
Throwback Thursday Rumble.
It is. That was right before he took his selfie.
Can you give us a setup for this scene?
Yes.
Yes, it's in the premiere.
And it's on Sundays at 8 p.m.
ABC, 7 Central.
I can tell you that if you watch the premiere, you will know exactly what that picture means.
That is
But today, I hope it is confusing.
And I'll say it's not exactly what it seems, but I'm not sure what it seems like, so.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It seems interesting. I mean, I want to see that Rumple with that Emma.
Yep.
What are they looking at?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Listen, I think, if you're going to be the Dark One, learn from the best. And that's what I would take from it.
Fair enough. All right, so I think a fun game is in store. I think we need to do a little game here. We're going to call it Yes, No, Maybe.
Okay?
So the show's introduced a lot of characters who've come and gone over the years. You're soon hitting the 100th episode. So I'm curious if we may see any of these characters again. Now, not too many spoilers, so I'm just going to throw them out.
All right.
You can say yes, no, maybe.
Yes,
right?
or maybe.
Okay.
All right. Mulan.
Maybe.
Sleeping Beauty.
Maybe.
Okay. Rapunzel.
Maybe.
Red Riding Hood.
Maybe.
Ariel.
Maybe.
Balefire. Ursula.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Korra.
Maybe.
Okay, this game's not going well. Okay. Don't you love the specificity of these guys?
Maybe.
Well, they do have a good sense of humor. And to that point, also coming out on the DVD next week is a blooper reel that we thought we would debut here for you guys. So everyone sit back and relax and watch the fun that they have making Once Upon a Time. Looks like they have a lot of fun on that set. So I think it's time for us to bring out maybe Snow White and an Evil Queen. How does that sound? It is with great pleasure that I introduce you to Jennifer Goodwin and Lana Parrilla.
Yeah, we moved out. It's like Carson.
You both look gorgeous tonight. Don't they look amazing? So you came out holding hands, which I think gives me a good way to get into the first question. I feel like Snow and the Queen have come along. They've had a long journey over 4 seasons, and I feel like they're in a much better place than they were. Can you talk a little bit about that? Where you think they're going to be going in terms of their friendship, maybe actually not hating each other quite so much?
Where are we going, boys? Yeah, where are we?
Oh, you know places.
Well, we
How
were
did
there
it get
together as
marked?
well. Yeah, right. So.
Yeah, well, I think that their relationship is actually one of the most touching, and oddly, right after the pilot was Ginny's birthday, and we all came here to celebrate it, and Lana and I went on the Dumbo ride together, and this is the first time all of us have been here since then, and that
I didn't
was
realize that.
5 years ago.
Whoa. Wow.
So I guess where they're going this year is the Dumbo ride.
They're going to Disneyland.
I love our relationship and how it's evolved over the years.
Do you remember? Oh, sorry.
No, please.
No, do you remember when we were watching the
Episode 18.
Wait,
when she fly, she the way, she's totally allowed to slap me at any point if there's a mosquito.
Oh, yes.
We actually
mutual agreement.
Yes. And,
But we were at JMO's, and we were watching the meeting of Regina and Little Snow.
Young Snow.
And I was trying to hold it together and looked over, and thank God Lana was also sitting and crying on the couch, because we do have so much history, and we've talked about the fact that obviously, had the Evil Queen really wanted to, she could have killed Snow White.
Yes. There is a family relationship. I mean, they are somewhat
Just
mother
real
and
love
daughter.
there.
And there's a history that's, I think, out of all the characters on the show, these two probably have the most history together.
I think that you saw it last year when you had a secret that you didn't want to tell Emma and you shared it with her. So I think in that moment for us, we said that was the moment that you realized this was what the relationship always should have been. And they found it.
And in this season, we're trying to explore that more and have, we want to have more of the relationship between Snow and her stepmother.
Okay,
part of me
so
wants
can we
you
get
to see-
that in writing?
If we have some witnesses.
That's actually one of my favorite scenes. When was it season 2, where Regina rips Snow?
Unless it was 3.
No, you come to
The porch.
Yes, Regina's home and asked her to kill her
Yeah,
and tear her heart out and crush her.
Oh.
That's one of my favorite scenes. I felt like that was a scene that was a long time coming, and you guys wrote it, and we had such an incredible time filming it. And Regina and Snow's relationship is definitely one of my favorites, and I'd love to see more of them together.
All right,
Always.
We'll put that in writing.
We've been paired as dolls, like I said, back to back.
And good and bad, certainly, I think we've redefined good and evil on the show quite a bit, and it's shown that there's a lot of gray. And Mary Margaret, or Snow, got to go pretty dark, particularly in the finale. That was kind of awesome. Was it fun to finally just go full on evil Snow in that finale? What was that like?
Absolutely. Well, it's funny because I think when we started the show and we were cursed and Mary Margaret and Snow were two separate beings, people assumed that the interpretation, I think before they saw it, would be that, and I think that this was the case with all the characters, that our cursed versions of ourselves would be the photographic negative, the polar opposite of the fairy tale being. And we realized during the pilot that didn't make any sense, because really it's just that the evil queen would have cursed each of us into being what would be the most miserable for us. So for instance, if Mary Margaret had been, let's say, just depressed all the time, she could have been self-indulgent in that depression. And that could be satisfying in a way. It had to be that she was always super close to happiness and it was just right outside of her grasp. And what was fun about the finale last year was that I felt like I finally did get to play the polar opposite, that photographic negative of Snow White. And there's no other way that could have been done except for with that particular curse. Our curses are very specific, you see. So yeah, it was a hoot, but I did have, I've got obviously a laughing problem. And I'm pretty sure studios take out insurance policies on how much time I can waste by laughing during takes. And I definitely lost it a lot playing Evil Snow.
It was fun.
It was so fun.
Seeing you as Evil Snow.
Oh my gosh.
Mary Margaret did get to experience a lot of the darkness when when her heart, when she found the dark spot on her microphone. And I'm just curious if you think going forward we're going to see a lot more shades of that, and her exploring that it is not everything is black and white. There's a lot of gray in there.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that the perfect person to teach her about that this season will be Emma. Since we know that
It's going to be pretty dark.
yeah, there's gonna be some surrounding darkness. And as the darker Emma goes, the more to Snow/Mary Margaret, she is herself a failure, because it's the very thing that she's been trying to prevent for decades, and maybe she's gone about it all the wrong way. And those realizations will make things grayer and grayer for her.
So now, Lana, I have to say, you get some of the show's best one-liners, and generally evil moments over the last 4 years. So is there a line or a scene that sticks out in your mind as being your favorite, one that you just was so juicy that you loved?
I would say the pilot. I shall destroy your happiness if it is the last thing I do. That's why.
Say it again.
I shall destroy your happiness if it is the last thing I do. The wrong dress.
It's not leather enough.
It's not.
That line was what was the audition for the Evil Queen, and when Lana did it, we were so terrified. We didn't even react. We were just like, okay, thank you.
Please go. Afghan spiderweb shawl, and she just looked at us.
And normally when you cast a show, you see a number of people and you bring a number of people to the network. We just went right after that and we're like,
Her.
we found it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But
And
you
then,
asked her.
and then at the end I went, would you like to see anything else? And they went, no. Like, great. Do you want to see it a different way? No.
That was it. Well, Lana, I feel like your character spent a lot of time hating Emma, like a whole lot. Like not as much as Snow, but a lot. In the finale, Emma like really just completely saves you, or saves Regina.
Sacrifices herself for Regina's happiness.
How do you think that's gonna end up? I mean, I felt like there was already a warming, but how do you think that's going to affect the relationship? And certainly, as Emma has gone dark, Regina is feeling a responsibility to bring her back to the light.
That's exactly what she feels is responsible. I don't think anyone's ever done something like that, or has ever made a sacrifice like that for Regina. It's probably the first time anyone's ever done that.
Yeah, I think it upsets her. She doesn't like to owe anyone anything.
She doesn't. She doesn't. So it's, she's so comical. And you'll get a bit of that this season where she has these one-liners like, oh great, like now I have to go save Emma! And it's not what she wants to do. She hates owing people things, and so now she feels like she has to really band together with everyone to save Emma, and that's what we'll see. That story will flesh out over the course of at least the first arc, how we break it up into two sort of mini seasons that will take place over the first part of the season.
I think that you'll see that when they went to Neverland, Emma kind of became the coach, and she got them all, we're all going to work together. And I think with Emma removed, they all want to save Emma, but they all have a different opinion about it. And I think that conflict is kind of fun. There's some really fun. There's some Hook Queen getting.
It's like Captain Hook and the Evil Queen have different ideas about what to do.
And Mom and Dad have different ideas about what to do. So it's going to be an intense first few episodes.
There's some friction.
Yeah.
And speaking of the first few episodes, I hear we're going to Camelot.
Yes.
A new kingdom for us to explore. So who's gonna go find Merlin?
Everyone?
Everyone.
Or no one?
The Avengers are
all the storybook.
Yeah.
Can we get a few?
I would say we are going to have our heroes. We're going to see these two. And we're going to have our core characters, I think, on the voyage, plus a few people who normally don't get to go on the adventure coming this time. There's a few people in town that are tired of when everyone returns. They're like, hey, how was it? And they're like, well, we didn't get to go. And then they're like, but I thought you were good friends with Snow. Turns out you're not good friends, or else you would have gone to Neverland. And since you weren't in Neverland, how good of friends can you be? So that's kind of what the premiere's about. One scene.
Who are Snow's real friends?
Yeah. Who really has a
Dragon. Can I go to Camelot? I'm in. Like,
Jeffrey, you
if
will be
you're
there,
taking
yeah.
names,
We already shot
Who are
it.
real friends? We go way back.
We do.
You need Camelot clothes,
Camelot clothes?
which is
Oh, yeah.
something to
I
look
don't even
forward
know.
to.
I don't even know what I'd wear.
Okay, well, Eduardo's on it.
Now, you kind of talked about where Camelot was. You said earlier like a sort of a parallel dimension or a parallel timeline. That's the phrasing. I have to look at my notes because I'm having mind left.
It occurs, Camelot exists concurrently with our world, just the way the Enchanted Forest does. So
It's Enchanted Forest adjacent.
So it's got a past, a present, and a future. that's all kind of running alongside. And
It's like Anaheim to LA.
it's like Anaheim to LA. There is no time difference,
Right.
but there's a lot of truck.
There's a big island. A lot of carriages. There's no like
Especially
carpool
the
carriage.
conventions, the Camelot conventions,
Yeah.
the expos.
It's like the Renaissance Festival or something. And, gosh. How are the characters going to meet Merida? I think everyone's really excited about Merida coming on this.
We're really excited. She is the first Pixar character that we were very excited to bring on. How we meet her is we meet her here. And how we meet her, I don't want to spoil because I think that's one of our, I think that how characters are introduced in the show, their meet cutes, whether it's hitting someone on the head with a rock or breaking up a wedding. Merida is in the same tradition. I would hate to ruin that right now.
But I think we can say that Merida, will interact with many of our characters, and it's, some of the stuff we're really excited about. It's been a lot of fun to have her, and Amy Manson, who plays her, is fantastic.
Yeah, she fits right in the Once world.
Awesome. Do you think we're going to get to see any other characters from Merida's storyline? I think a lot of us like Fergus and Eleanor and maybe the triplets.
I hope so.
Yeah, maybe.
I would.
Maybe people.
I would say we will definitely be seeing some people from that movie.
Yes.
I love the names. I feel like it's maybe we should ask maybe the audience. Well, let's just take one audience question. Is there anyone out there who's got a question? Anyone? Anyone have a question? Oh, you, Boba Fett person.
I think that's Jango Fett. That's actually Boba's father.
Sorry.
Django. What's going on?
Hi.
My question's for Jennifer. If you had to choose another character on the show besides yours that you like the best, which one would it be?
Wait, sorry, one more time?
Who would your favorite character on
Oh,
the
he's
show?
my favorite character. It changes all the time, but I would say Rumple's really my...
Yeah.
Yeah, Rumple's a good one.
That's ridiculous.
Let's hug it out.
Are you guys okay if Josh joins us up here?
What side do I go? I don't know. I'm just messing.
Time up the stage.
Wow.
Yay!
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so next to your lovely wife.
Thanks.
Forget it.
Josh Dallas. So, being on a show that has so much green screen and special effects, I'm sure you probably have all had a moment or two that was maybe unintentionally hilarious, where a green screen or if something didn't go right, or perhaps a dragon or something that you guys mentioned. Maybe Josh had a good story about. Anyway, but I'll do all of you. I think we'd all be curious to hear about the wacky goings on, and stop being so cute, really.
No, they had lipstick. It was...
I had to ride a giant pickle. Ride like a mechanical bull between my legs. Green pickle.
It was meant to be a dragon.
But
And there was a dragon.
in
It was
post-production.
Maleficent, to be honest.
It was Maleficent. I rode.
It is after 6.
All right.
I rode her name.
23 after dark.
We are going to talk tonight.
Do you two either of you have a funny green screen or playing against a
You know what
broomstick?
this reminds me of? Do you remember? I mean, this is so not answering your question. I'm so
okay.
sorry. It's just funny because one of my favorite ever filming moments is we were on the green screen stage on the Jolly Roger.
Oh, yes.
And we decided, so we were supposed to be doing things like hauling rope and like, I don't remember what, but helping with sails and things in the background of a really serious scene. And Lana and I were like, we are a princess and a queen. What are we doing? We we don't haul loops. So we're like pretending to do mani-pedis and
We wouldn't know what to do. We wouldn't know where to start.
Sales.
Royalty.
Spa. Royals.
We'll let everyone else do it.
We take
Like doing the
things very
massages.
seriously.
No, another funny moment was when we had to hit each other. Remember we got into some physical
Oh my
fight
gosh.
on the Jolly Roger?
And we were like, and they let us turn it into a cat fight.
We were trying to grab each other's hair. We were like trying not to really grab each other's hair, so our hand was just like in a fist on each other's heads. And like we'd have to hold on to the hand and like make it just, it was so ridiculous. We were laughing so hard. But then you watch the cut and it's like, those two are really going at it. Meanwhile,
They're so professional looking. They're taking it so seriously.
movie magic.
So, Josh, your daughter's become the Dark One.
Yes.
How do you think Charming's going to handle that?
Well, he's going to handle it the best way that he can. You know, I think, you know, as Jenny kind of mentioned before about, you know, looking at the gray, and I think, you know, the darker she goes, the more that he's going to look on how he views things in the world, and in terms of being right or wrong, or black and white, and things are going to get a little more gray for him, and I think it's definitely going to teach him a lot of things. And yeah, I mean, he's going to try his best to get his daughter back to the light somehow, but things are probably going to stay gray for a while.
And you're off to Camelot.
Off to Camelot.
I hear there could be a potential bromance you and Arthur hitting off.
It's a full-on bromance.
Talk a little
Real
about it.
between a Josh and his
Just
actor
he's so
too.
handsome in that. No, it's great. You know, if you look at the evolution of Charming, you know, he was a shepherd and he became a prince. He became a husband. He became a father, and now I think he's been thinking, where is he in all of that? Where did he go? Is he still the hero that he used to be? Can he still have those adventures? Can he still have those quests? And I think Prince Charming as a character, David as a character, you know, he has a huge heart. And I think he needs a life that is as big as that heart. So he needs those things. And I think he might find those things again with his friendship with Arthur. And he might get that, you know, that fire lit underneath him once again, which is pretty great.
Fun. Now, you've all actually become parents in the past year. How has that affected? I can only imagine how that must affect how you're acting.
Everything.
Can you talk a little bit about
Sleepy? I think sleepy.
And covered in food and.
but how has it affected playing with, you know, with Henry or Emma, the characters who are your kids on the show?
I mean, to me, the stakes skyrocketed. Like before we had Oliver, everyone said you will never experience love, you know, until you have a child. And I always thought that people were referring to the kind of love you had for your kid as being quantitative, like, oh, well, I will love this person more than I've loved anyone else. But it's its own kind of love that I don't think you probably can understand unless you have a child. And the second we had him, I know like the first scene we had with Emma, yeah, I did feel like, I don't know, it's almost like I kind of could quit acting because I understood like my knee-jerk reaction to like anything regarding Emma is like to protect, you know, and to ease, and you know, making her smile becomes the objective, and I don't think I ever thought about anything in the way that I now do now that we have Oliver. So those scenes became easier to act, but also like more emotionally traumatizing in many ways because anything happens to Emma and I like need therapy. You?
Well, I'm a real stepmother.
Not a mean one. You're a good one. You're nice.
I'm a good one, yeah. I have a great relationship with my 3 boys, and it was new for me. I don't have children of my own, but I have these 3 boys, and they feel like my own in some way. We've been together 4 years. My husband's here, so I'm looking at Fred going, 4 years. And it's changed me, and I've grown so much, and I've learned so much, and how to balance family life at home now. I've married 4 people, and being a professional, you know, having a career, that's something I kind of had to learn very quickly, how to balance the two. And I'm still learning quite a bit, but when I work with Henry, every so often I think of Matthew, the youngest. And it's probably he's the youngest, and I met him when he was 8? How old? No, 9. 9. So, we're really, really close, and I'm close to all of them. I'm really close to Matthew, and I'm also very close to Jared. But when I work with Jared / Henry, I think of Matthew quite a bit. Yeah, he's just my little bunny. So cute.
God, everybody, by the way, it's like the most fertile set on the planet. Like everyone has had babies since we started, or you know, had children in some capacity since we started. Like every year, someone else's wife is pregnant, or yeah.
Well, I have to get a daycare.
Yeah.
At the end of the year,
Storybook daycare company.
Yeah, but there are a ton of babies on the show.
Yeah.
We have so many.
Robin had just had a baby.
Robin
had a baby.
had a baby. And then we had MRJ who had one. He was the first.
You're right. First season.
Yeah.
All boys.
Yeah, all boys.
Some of you out there may know this, but Jennifer here is a charter D23 member. Been a fan for a long time.
Yeah.
But
I
this-
used to go to the events before any of this was going on.
But this is your first expo, right?
It's my first expo.
So what are you thinking? What have you enjoyed?
Wow. I don't know if any of you were at the Disney animation panel yesterday. I said, you are my people. This is not work. This is coming home. I know exactly where all of y'all are. Yeah, this is amazing.
And you got to
Celebration.
You got to see like a sculpted version of your animated self coming out next year.
I've been wearing my Judy Hopps hat around. Yeah, it made me a bit emotional. I mean, honest to goodness, I got involved in all of this because I wanted someday to voice a Disney animated character. I mean, that's why I started acting. That was to me.
So you're saying Eddie and Adam were a means to an end, really?
That means to an end. It's all one. It's all part of the same. We're one big Disney family. But yeah, but that wouldn't have come if it hadn't been for Once Upon a Time. And I mean, it's all intertwined. It's all magical.
So I think on that note, it's a good time for a round of Disney favorites. This is a game that they will all have to actually answer questions on, by the way. We are in a room. Do we have any Disney geeks in the room? So, after 4 seasons and an entire lifetime for Jennifer, I think you've all probably become pretty good Disney fans, if you weren't already before. So, we've got 5 big Disney fans on the stage. I'm going to do a round of Disney favorites. I'm not going to give you any time to think. I'm just going to go you, and you have to tell me what your favorite Disney blank is. All right, so, no hands up. Your favorite Disney character that you don't play, Jennifer?
Sleeping Beauty.
Josh?
Stop thinking, Josh!
Oh, Rumpelstiltskin.
Dumbo.
Peter Pan.
Stop thinking!
Nemo. Someone find me.
Favorite Disney movie?
Snow White.
Stop thinking!
Peter Pan.
Lana.
Dumbo.
Crimson Tide.
Dumbo.
Yes, we can do Disney Pixar, right? We're doing
You can do Pixar.
I'm doing Inside Out.
Inside Out.
He said Nemo.
Well, I would have said
Yeah.
Inside Out.
I would say Toy Story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
One,
and I
two,
would
three.
say up.
All of them.
I would say up.
A lot of good movies here. All right.
I'm sticking with Snow White.
Zootopia. Shilling for the movie, all right, unbelievable.
Nice.
From this stage,
Nice.
favorite Disney song, Lana?
Poor unfortunate soul.
I know, we all want that musical episode, don't we? Josh.
There must be something more to us.
That is the Sherman Brothers.
That's
It is
not a Disney movie?
film. Sherman Brothers. By the way, like good integritous choice. Sherman Brothers.
Yes,
Still
classic.
of the Disney family.
A classy choice.
But that was from Charlotte's Web.
Okay, well, go on. I lose.
I sing "Baby Mine" from Dumbo every single night to Oliver.
Eddie.
Bare necessities.
Adam.
Supercalifragilistic.
You gotta finish it. You gotta start the other things. All right, favorite. I'm like, oh, that's weird like that. Favorite Disney piece of merchandise you own, Josh?
I have a black Mickey Mouse T-shirt that I wear, and my son loves it. He always points at it.
Adam.
Snow White and the Evil Queen.
Oh.
Limited edition dolls.
Limited edition. Nice. Good choice, Eddie.
Can I have this?
Yes.
I would say this, or I have a Tron disc I'm fond of.
Jenny.
I scored. There's something. I mean, I don't even know if I'm allowed to be saying this. I could totally be getting in trouble. But
You're among friends. We won't tell anyone, right?
The animators at Disney, when they work for the company for a certain length of time, they get a jacket, and it's the animator's jacket. And I totally scored one. No, but it's just like it just says like Disney animation.
Lana.
Well, my sister never knows what to get me. I feel that's terrible. Every birthday, Christmas, never knows. And one year, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, she found this old vintage Evil Queen figurine that's like so old, and I don't know how she found it, maybe on eBay or something, but because she gave it to me and because I played the Evil Queen, it's my favorite.
And last but not least, favorite Disney theme park attraction, Lana.
Boo.
That's a great answer. It's like a little blimp.
Tower of Terror.
Star Tours.
Josh.
Indiana Jones.
Pirates.
Jenny.
Haunted Mansion.
I think we've got 5 great Disney geeks up here, people. All right, back to the show. So there's usually 1 or 2 overarching themes for each season, whether it is finding can a villain get their happy ending, things like that. What are some of the themes that you guys either see coming or that you guys already know are coming that you would say are going to be for this, at least the first part of this season?
I would say 2 things come to mind. One is, sometimes things aren't what they appear to be. And the other is, love is a very dangerous weapon.
That's good. You should write it.
You guys have any thoughts on that? You guys
Love is a very dangerous weapon.
Use it.
Maybe.
Someday. Who wants to see Lana be evil again?
Who wants to see Regina be evil again?
all right. Well, we did mention the 100th episode's coming up soon.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Honestly,
Yeah.
we for the fans, we were the show that was predicted to be canceled first, being Sunday at 8, and now that we're on our 100th episode, it is because of the fans, it is because of the people here. This was the first place we came to show the show, and the fans inspire us every day, and we share fan art, and we talk about it amongst ourselves, and we do hear you, and we are inspired by it.
How do you feel? Did you think that this, I mean...
We're going to Disneyland!
Bring on Dumbo.
We're going to the
So coming up, without any big spoilers, what do you think, what can we expect from the 100th episode?
Well, I don't know yet.
You know, there's
The greatest episode ever.
The history of television.
it'll be one of our top 100 episodes.
I would say, we have a lot of thoughts about the 100th episode, and I think that it's a great time to think back and reflect back on the show and all the people maybe that have come before us and we've lost, and you never know.
Wow, maybe.
Whether we succeed or not, we want it to be special. So
Yeah.
hopefully it will be.
We've got a bit till we get to the 100th episode, but not so long till we get to the first episode of
Yes.
season 5. So I thought you guys may want to see a minute or so. Eddie and I were kind enough to actually provide the first minute or so of what happened after Emma got sucked up and whatever the heck happened to her.
Only if they want to see it.
So to refresh your memory, Emma goes, grabs a dagger, bad stuff happens, and
then there's a summer.
All right, so I think we should roll it.
Roll it.
roll it.
I want to say thank you to Eddie, Adam, Lana, Josh, Jennifer, and we want to say thank you to you guys, the fans, D23 members. You're the best.